Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the Waterman and D-Train Show.
Digitized live from Act Computer Studio in Cape Coral, Florida. We have no water, but we have power, and we have Dave, and sometimes that's all we need. Dave the Waterman, how are you doing?
All right, my friend. All right, dude. Not a bad evening, man. Beautiful outside.
It was a great day. It was a great evening until I got home, and
I saw you.
my wellhead decided to take a shit.
I seen that.
What makes it worse is I've been at a birthday party / pool party all day, and I have chlorine hair and chlorine body and no way to rinse off.
Oh no.
You there, Gordon?
Yes, I am. So
How's Vegas treating you?
There he is.
Amount of water, a ton of water to a desert.
Well, I'm getting a little Hurricane Irma flashback because I had to grab my 5-gallon jerry can and head across the neighborhood to the house that's on city water in my same neighborhood that's on the other side of the canal. And that's how you know I'm a hillbilly, because I still use the phrase city water.
What are you doing? You jacking water from a neighbor, man? Is there anybody living there?
Yeah, it's the house I used to live in that I rented before I bought here. They're on the other side of the canal.
Yeah.
There's a main thoroughfare that runs through their backyard, and so they're on city water. So much like I had to do for 16 days during Hurricane Irma, I grabbed the 5-gallon jerry can and drove across the neighborhood, filled it up, and I'm kind of getting some little bit of flashbacks. I get those flashbacks as well anytime I have to mow the lawn and I got to go down to the gas station and fill up the gas can. Because during those 16 days, after day 7, one of our listeners was nice enough to let me use his generator he no longer needed. Mm-hmm. But every day I was getting up, going to get water, and dropping $60 worth of gas for the generator.
So hell yeah.
I spent my mornings constantly filling up tanks, whether it was water tanks or gas tanks. And so tonight it's dark and I'm over there sitting there filling up water again.
Oh, man, that sucks. That is such a pain in the ass, too.
Well, it's a pain in the ass because this stuff can never happen at 8 in the morning.
Oh, no.
Or you got 12 hours worth of daylight to sort the shit out.
Hell no, man. It's
got to
happen
at 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Even if I knew what the problem was, there's no place to go right now to get parts to fix the damn problem.
Nope. You know, you're getting ready for work. You got the family doing stuff. You might, laundry, dishes to do. Nothing.
Well, once again, all of us spent all day swimming in a pool.
Oh, you had plenty of water there, bud.
And one of us had time to take a shower before the water took a shit. And so the rest of us are,
Okay.
We're dirty birds.
Dude, hey, there's nothing wrong with a little chlorine bath, bro. I've taken many of those. Gordon, you ever take a good chlorine bath, man?
I usually shower afterwards, Dave.
Yeah, most people take a shower after swimming in a pool all day.
Well, that's true.
You don't want to walk around with pool funk on you all day.
No. Well, if you're swimming in and that's the thing, you're swimming in a neighborhood pool that the whole hood goes to and everybody's swimming in it, yeah. But, if it's a private pool, not so bad, I think. Especially if if they're not a young couple and they're not doing dirty deeds in the pool, man, you're all right.
Well,
my opinion.
Okay, but you still got 6 or 7 people swimming in the damn thing all day.
I get it.
A lot of body funk and everything else.
Well, that's what the chlorine's there for, bro. It kills all that stuff. That's what chlorine does.
And if those people are drinking a lot and they're not getting out of the pool.
Well, that's a no-no. That is a no-no. Do not piss in the pool, man. That is the worst.
The drinking started early. It started so early that one of the young gentlemen passed out around, 2 in the afternoon.
Bro, what have you been doing? You've been hanging out with partiers here on the weekends.
Day drinking, and what happens when you have people drinking around a pool?
Oh, yeah.
And you have somebody passed out. I know.
Yeah.
Who needs to go in the pool?
Yeah, right.
The one guy in the house who's not wearing swim trunks. Has his jeans on. His boots on.
Passed out.
All his belongings in his pockets.
Oh, no.
And the young gentleman woke up and came outside to have a smoke, and that's when he was accosted by 5 other people. Now, they were nice enough to wrestle him and remove his cell phone, cigarettes, and wallet from his pocket.
Well, that's kind.
But here's where it gets great. As they attempted to throw him into the pool, he had full-blown retard strength.
Oh, one of those.
He had 3 adult males and adult female on him, and he managed to somehow be the only one who didn't up in the pool, except for one leg and one boot ended up on the stair. Now, They had a portable, high-end, professional-grade beer pong table set up.
Nice.
Of course, his leg got caught in that.
Yeah.
That got flipped over. Then a beer bottle got broken.
He was
Sounds
fighting
like a
it.
fiasco.
And
Sounds like fun.
so 20 minutes later, he gets pissed and decides he wants to leave, but he's way too drunk to leave. And so
Yeah.
people had to go out front and kind of talk him out of leaving.
Is this the same guy from the foreign country that got his stomach?
No,
pumped?
it's not.
Okay.
But it was the birthday party of
I
the
was
same
curious.
person who was having the bachelor party last week.
Okay.
Same
All
guy.
right. All right.
And of course, I'm minding my own business, and so later on, I go to get in the pool, and I step on a piece of glass from a broken beer bottle, and get glass stuck in my foot,
No way.
which works great for a guy who's just now getting in the running.
Yeah, right? Just what you need right now, man.
And so,
Just a
but
minor speed bump.
yeah, it was a great day. You know, beers,
Sounds like
everything
a
was
good
fun.
time.
But then I get home.
Yeah, right.
The message of the day was I have to be home by 7:30. I got a show. The show must go on.
Damn right.
Get home at 7:30. 7:50, the water goes out. It's like,
That
come on.
sucks. How'd you find that out? Did you go to, like, jump in the shower or something?
Somebody was in the shower when it went off.
Okay, somebody's already in the shower, and it was like, hey, there's no water.
And so I went outside and unplugged all the shit and plugged it back in, and it came back on. I was like, okay, problem solved. And it killed back out. My dad has been working on his water system since 2004, and he's a electrical engineer, so he's going to come out tomorrow, first daylight, because,
Yeah.
you know, it's a Monday. We don't have a shitload of stuff to do tomorrow.
Right.
And so it's just like, oh, one more thing to do.
Just check it out. Go over it with a fine-tooth comb, man. Find that problem, bro.
But other than that, prior to this nonsense, the day was going great. John Kraft joins us on Facebook. He says, hey, thanks for the other decal. We'll find a place on the race car for it. I sent him out the Digital 410 Productions decal.
Did you see that in his car? He put that sticker in? That was so
yeah, I'm the one who
sweet,
posted
man.
the photos.
That was awesome,
Yeah, on
man.
in the gauges in his race car, he
Yeah.
has the WTSP and the Waterman D-Train ship
That was
decals.
real cool of him, man. Thank you, Mr. Kraft, man. Thank you very much. That was real cool. Cool seeing that. What's happening in Vegas? Gordon, what are you doing?
Oh, a lot. Went to a Vegas Knights game. Been working out again. Feeling the effects of working out again without really seeing it. When you just feel stout and strong.
Yeah, you're just feeling tight.
Yeah, it's nice motivation.
That's cool, man. So you only worked out once?
No.
Okay. I'm just wondering, man. You're like, I just started working out again.
Push-ups to my daily routine.
All right.
At least 4 days a week at work.
That's cool.
Some walking plus the gym. So
I'm a big believer in motivation through shame.
Right.
And I wear those grunt style shirts, right? And so they came up with another line. I think it's called Club Grunt Style.
Okay.
It's more their athletic line. But they have this great shirt that says reps, not text on it.
Okay.
It's kind of a
I like
douchebag
it.
shirt, but you're
Yeah,
basically saying to the people in the gym, hey, don't sit on the
Knock
machines
off
and
the
text.
shit.
Yeah, don't sit there and just, yeah.
But the reason I wear the shirt is because I'm self-conscious. I don't want to be the guy who has his picture taken and posted on Facebook of me texting while wearing a shirt that says reps. So by wearing that shirt, it forces me. I don't even like to change my Pandora station at that point because I don't want to be. And so
guy
it
just even
forces
touching the
me to do more reps and not be risk seen with a phone in my hand, even though I'm changing the music on my Pandora and someone taking a picture. Hey, look, this douchebag. He's got a shirt that says reps, not text, and here he is texting in the middle of the gym.
Yeah.
And so
you'll be a meme.
And so it helps me stay motivated and helps me continue to actually stay off my phone for a full hour because, once again, so...
That's cool.
Like I said, it's kind of a douchebag shirt, but it works great because...
just reminds you.
Yeah.
It reminds you, hey,
gotta
man.
have those controls on yourself, right?
Yeah.
The things that you got to make yourself not want to do or avoid at all cost and use that or, you know, and any other method through work and everything. You got to have it.
It just the cell phone has just permeated everything that we all do now.
And we're all guilty of it.
Going out to dinner, like you say, the gym, stationary bikes. I'm sure there's people in the stationary bikes that are just pedaling away and they're probably on their phone, do or whatever.
I was going to say this for later in the episode, but
What
Gordon talked about working out and exercise, so we'll go ahead and talk about it now. Check that out.
Oh, look at that, bro.
Now, that's pretty much a participation award.
Let me have a look-see here.
I went and ran my second 5K this Saturday. As you all know, I ran my first 5K about 3 weeks ago-ish.
Yeah.
I decided to do it, even though I'm not a runner. I decided to do it for the same reason that I like to do reenactments and tactical, and that is to, one, see if that I can physically still do shit at 40 years old.
Of course you can,
And
bro.
two, I like to cause myself a lot of pain because Don't let anybody tell you that running is not painful.
Oh, hell no.
But it was the first annual City of Palms half marathon and 5K.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I'm a little disappointed in myself. The original intent was to do the half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 12 miles. And I wasn't quite there yet. So I just went ahead and did the 5K. And like I said, this is pretty cool. But it's pretty much a participation award because as soon as you cross the finish line, you get one.
Okay.
But it's still cool.
That's a nice award. I mean, that's a nice medallion on the end. I think that thing's heavy, bro.
Yeah, and so the first race I did, one, I had a pair of Adidas shoes. I think we talked about briefly. They really don't have a lot of support.
Yeah, we did.
They're not really conducive for running. But my first 5K, I went out and did it. I finished at 30 minutes and 6 seconds, which wasn't bad.
No.
Considering the fact that not once on a treadmill have I ever been able to do faster than a 12-minute mile.
Okay.
And part of the reason is, now that I've discovered, is you can't throttle your speed on a treadmill. You're stuck running at the exact speed that it is, and so you tend to run slower.
Right.
But here's the thing, and it's pretty damn cool, right? So I cross the finish line, and I'm walking around, I'm eating bananas and waters, and pull out my phone and go to the website, because what they do is on your race bib, there is a there's a chip.
Yeah, there's a little barcode.
And they have... Basically, they have what they call the gun time, which is when the race officially starts, and then you have the chip time.
Okay.
And the reason there's a chip time is on the bib there's a chip, and so when you run through the arch, you run through a digital registration.
Right,
that picks
absolutely.
up the chip. And that's how they. And then when you finish, you run across another one. So that is exactly how you know exactly how fast you ran. This time, I finished at 28 minutes and 3 seconds.
Damn, bro.
And the first race I did, to be a little honest, and I mentioned this last time, the first race was over the Edison Bridge, and so there's a steeper grade, and you're running over a bridge. But I had actually ran that bridge before when I first started running prior to Hurricane Irma.
Right.
And so I knew the course. And obviously, when the 2 miles of the 3.1 miles is the bridge itself, it's easy to see when you're almost done. But this one was at what was it? Florida Gulf
GCU,
Coast University.
Right? Yeah.
And so we take off by the tennis courts, and they're surrounded by student housing, right? And so then we run down the main street and out onto the main road, and then the half marathon they go on, and then the 5Kers we turn back, and we're running back, and we hang a left over this wood bridge through some mangrove trees.
Oh wow!
And then I see student housing in front of me. I'm like, sweet, dude, we're almost done.
Almost
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And come out and there's the lake.
Oh.
They actually made us run around the lake, and so it kind of threw me off because at that point I'm like, how much longer do we have to go?
Yeah, you're like, dude, I'm kicking butt, man. And it's like,
well, the whole time I did not look my Fitbit because I didn't want to know what my pace was.
Where you were at in pace, yeah.
Now, as I said last time, after 2 miles on the first one, I slowed down a little bit and I did a quick walk for like 30 seconds. This time I did not do a quick walk at all. I forced myself to run or jog at my consistent speed
At a
the whole
decent
time.
pace,
I think I
yeah.
had like a 8.53 pace, maybe a 9-minute pace.
Okay.
But two things happened. I have never gone to the gym without music. I always work out, listen to music. As we talked
True.
before, when I lift weights,
Yeah.
I listen to the 90s hip-hop that I
Yeah.
can't rap to anymore. And then when I run on the treadmill, I listen to a fast pace, like the new age bluegrass stuff.
Okay.
Well, I made a rookie mistake. I ran with wireless headphones,
Oh no.
and they didn't have a full charge. They died a mile into it.
There
So
goes
for
your
the-
motivation, man.
For the last
starting to-
2.1 miles, I had to run with no music,
Oh, that sucks.
listening to the huffing and puffing of everybody
Everybody
around me. And so when you're used to working out and running to a rhythm, and that's
Yeah.
gone, that kind of throws you off.
You didn't start thinking of something in your head, just kind of thinking of
I
beats
just-
or so. I would have,
I would
Did you try to find a rhythm within the huffing and puffing?
There
a
you
little
go,
bit,
Gordon.
yes, and I did notice a lot of us were huffing and puffing almost in the same rhythm.
Really?
And so what I would do is when I got a little tired, I would slow down a little bit and let somebody get ahead of me, and then the person behind me would catch up, and then I would match their pace,
All right.
and
there
then I
you
would
go.
pick up. And then when I got to about the last 1,000 yards and I could see the finish line, I picked up my speed and I forced ran. Now, I'm scared to see within a week they're supposed to have the photos that they take along the course. And as you all know from last Sunday's episode, I've been fighting a cold for a week.
Yeah, you have.
If you listen to last week's podcast, you can hear me snort my snot through the whole damn thing.
Even when we worked on Thursday and Friday, bro, you were still feeling it.
And so as I'm running close to the finish line, I got this drool.
Oh,
and I see the chick snapping photos, and so I know there's going to be some god awful
looking like a rabid dog.
Crash helmet on that picture.
Yeah, he's gonna look like a rabid dog, rabies and stuff. Just bleh.
And so I finished the race, and I'm eating, I'm walking around, because you can't, like I said last time, you can't just, well, actually, some people do. I saw people who ran the goddamn 12 miles. They just stopped. Like, okay, I'm done. It's like, wow, no way.
You're supposed to have a cool down.
I walk. I probably walk another 1,000 steps before I stop. And so I pull up my app and I go to the website, and they have, because it's all digitized, it's all live. And I see my time, and then it says age group rank 5.
No, yeah, right?
And I'm like, fit what?
Did you?
And so I actually stuck around for the award ceremonies.
Yeah, let me see what's happening
And
here.
it's sponsored by World of Beer.
Nice.
And there's a whole table of beer mugs out there. Well, the only people who get beer mugs are the people who were in the first between places 1 through 5 in each age group.
They got a place.
And so, even though this is technically a participation, medal because I crossed the finish line, I did get my 5th place beer mug.
Sweet, man.
Unfortunately, what you're supposed to do with this beer mug was after the race, go over to World of Beer, and this would entitle me to buy one, get one free on every beer I drank.
Hell yeah, bro.
But I had to go do my taxes.
Oh, man.
So I left the race, and I went and took a shower and went to my accountant and did my taxes, so I did not get to take advantage of that.
So that didn't get any beer in it at all. Poor glass.
But I got to say, I was a little happy with myself to realize that all the 40-year-old dudes running there.
When I heard about it, and I heard, you had placed 5th, I said, damn, man, that's his 2nd race, and he's placing 5th already. That's pretty damn good, man.
But, of course, I'm my own worst critic, and so I'm looking at the times, and the guy who got 4th place beat me like by 4 seconds.
I was going to say, what was the
because
next time?
I had no idea of what rank I was in.
Right.
And it's like, I should have just pushed a little harder to pass that guy, and I could have got 4th place.
Damn,
But
man.
I'm happy with 5th,
all you can do is go up from here, man. 4th, 3rd, that's pretty damn good, bro.
I'm doing, because basically marathons and 5Ks, it's all about your personal best.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're basically racing yourself.
You're racing yourself, yeah.
Yes, there are guys out there and women out there who they do come in 1st and 4th.
They're
every
like the
race.
pros at it, man.
They actually travel around. But the rest of the other 283 people, they're just out there for their own personal best. Whether, a buddy of mine back in Ohio ran his first 5K in like 4 years, and he finished it in 45 minutes, and he was talking about shin splints. Yeah. And I said, I went through the same thing. I sent him a link to the new running shoes that I got off of Amazon, which I ran in this race. So I don't know if it's because it's flatter, because I have shoes with better arch support, but clearly my time was better.
So the shoes really helped you out then, for sure. Obviously.
Well, it definitely helps when you don't have shin pains the whole time when you're running.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I said, you're already in pain. And the weird thing is, about a week ago, I actually ran for an hour straight for the first time ever.
Right.
But it was on the treadmill. Once again, it's hard. And so I only
you're running at one specific
even though I can do
pace.
3.1 miles in 28 minutes on the treadmill, I wasn't going for speed. Because I wanted to see what my endurance was, so I wasn't going for speed. I just wanted to see if I could run for a full hour.
Right.
And the crazy thing is after you get past, and I think I ran like 5.5 miles, so clearly my pace sucked for an hour, but once again, I wasn't going for speed, I was going for distance. But the crazy thing is once you get past the 3 miles, you get what they call, which I never understood before, runner's high, and it becomes easier to run because it's almost like your body accepts the fact that, okay, this is the pace, this is my new normal.
Right.
This speed is my new normal of walking or running. And so your body almost adjusts to it. And so when you get up to mile 4.5, it gets a hell of a lot easier to run.
Oh, I could see. And by that point, it's kind of, you're almost done, but you're zoned in. Your body's feeling it. It's like warming up, warming up a race car.
Yeah. You just get the
warming up the
motion
tires.
and you just keep on going.
The tires get sticky after a few laps, man. That's what the body's doing. It's like, all right, man, here we go.
And so, no, I did that Saturday, and I was quite happy with my performance. And I might do another one here in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, when I heard about it, I said, man, this guy's kicking ass. I said, he's out there, he's placing 5th, and it's his 2nd race, man. That is freaking bitching, man. I was like, go D-Train.
Gordon, what do you feel about supernatural stuff?
Aha.
It's cool to enjoy his entertainment, but beyond that, not much.
I really don't believe in it. I'm not a supernatural guy. Back in November, I went and did the 75th anniversary of the Tearaway landings, and we slept and camped out for 3 days on Fort Morgan, Alabama, which was a fort that was built a little bit prior to World War I. So obviously that place has, been around since 1915. And the following week when I came home and posted pictures, actually this girl used to be a member of the What's in Your Head forum back in 2001, and she posted, "Oh, that place is cool. I went there on a haunted tour."
Oh, okay.
And I replied, "That place isn't haunted. I slept there for 3 days.
3 days, nothing
If
happened.
anybody's going to see a ghost, especially if anybody's going to see ghosts from World War I era, it's going to be a bunch of guys in World War II uniforms.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping and drinking.
Reenacting the war, the war
Here we
stuff,
are,
man.
dressed as soldiers, and no one saw, and there's actually the guys who did the Japanese impressions, they were actually sleeping inside the fort itself.
Yeah.
I was sleeping in a field, but no one, reported
That
anything spooky going on.
energy would create, maybe an apparition would come out or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason this comes up,
Yeah.
and for those of you who follow us on the Waterman and D-Train Show Facebook page, you already know where this is going, but we do have a lot more listeners than we actually do likes on our page, and so, hey, whatever.
Yep.
And so, about 2 weeks ago, I got called from a new client. They had some security issues in their building in downtown Fort Myers that was built in 1901. And they hired me to come out and replace their video cameras and their DVR. And so I was there last Friday running the wires through the attic. And the attic is tall enough where my 6'5" ass can stand up in the middle of it. And they do have some old boards that are nailed down to the rafters so you can walk a little bit. And so I was sitting down untangling wire, and my drill bag, the bag that has my drill and the charger, was sitting on the catwalk like 10 feet away from me. I wasn't standing up, I wasn't moving, and the thing just fell over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whatever, not a big deal, it's off balance, it fell over. And so I ran the wire left. Dave and I needed someone to get on there and help me, because when you're doing security cameras, you need someone to start to monitor while you adjust and lock in.
Exactly.
You're outside on a ladder, 15 feet off the ground. Someone has to be able to hand you stuff through the wall.
I'm a smaller guy. I can
Yada,
get in the
yada,
attic.
yada. Dave can get to the harder to reach
into the attic
areas.
and move around a little easier,
And so Dave was nice enough and agreed to go out and help me run these wires.
Absolutely, brother.
And what do we do? What's that, Gordon?
Said okay. I'm just following along.
Right.
And we went down there, Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday morning we started.
We went down there Thursday. We ran 3 cameras, got them hooked up. Everything was fine. But we ran out of time because this building is so small that in order to get in the attic, you have to basically set the ladder up right in the main doorway,
Right.
and that's basically going to prevent them from conducting
they
business.
got to have business operations.
And so we had to leave and come back on Friday. So we get there on Friday, and we're doing our walkthrough. I said, okay, we need to move this camera to this room. We need to install 2 more here. And we turn around, and we're walking towards the back of the store. And think of it, it's basically used to be an old house, and it's partitioned into 3 main rooms. You have what would be the living room area, then it's partitioned into a middle room that's probably a
Like a little
kitchen
dining
at
room
some
or something?
point where all the utilities have been taken out of it. Now it's just a display room. And then you walk through another door, which would have been the old mud room, but it has been converted into another room.
Yeah.
As we're walking through the door jamb from what used to be the kitchen into the mud room, we hear a ka-ching and hear something hit the hardwood floor. Boom! And we turn around, and I look down on the floor, and there is a reproduction version of the old candle snuffers. From back in the day when everybody had candles in their houses to snuff them out. It was basically a long rod with what looked like a bell at the end. Put on the candle, snuff it out.
Yeah.
But this one is a reproduction, and actually it has been turned back into a bell. And it has a little
Yeah,
changer.
they're pretty
I don't know
cool,
what
man.
that little changer inside's called.
I don't know either. Little dinger.
And so I pick it up, and there's shelves right on the door itself. And I'm looking, and I don't see where it could have been sitting.
Yeah, because it flew right behind me. As we were both going through, we both, went boom and then kind of slid, and we're like, what was that? And then going ahead, I'm sorry.
And so we turn around, and like 5 feet from us in the middle of the room is a round end cap.
Yep.
And there's like 5 more on it. So that's the display where they're all sitting. So somehow, unless this thing was in fact sitting on the shelf by us,
There's no way.
And us walking on the floor created such motion that it fell off.
You saw where all the others were
Well, if
sitting.
it was barely on the shelf, right
Gordon.
at that
But
point.
the thing is, if it would have fallen off the shelf, it would have splat. This thing, like
Yeah.
Dave said, slid.
It slid. It was like it had enough momentum coming off that little
end cap.
end cap that it hit the floor and slid. So it's like something had pushed it off with a little bit of force, enough where it flew off, hit the floor, and then slid. So me and D-Train were like, whoa.
We're like, okay, this is weird, but let's get the
Yeah,
job done.
Let's keep going. It's
So
like, what,
we-
about 7:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah,
7:45.
7:38 in the morning. So we put it back on the display with the rest of them.
Yep.
We go outside, hook up the camera that's over the parking lot. Dave's up in the attic, and he's coming down. He's like, "Did you hear that noise?"
Yep. So did you hear that?
And I'm like, "What noise?" He's like, "I heard something in the front room."
I just heard something.
So he comes down the ladder. We go in the front room, and up on the fireplace, what used to be the fireplace, up on the mantle, they have little black, tiny velvet pillows.
Yeah, little pillows. Yeah.
Maybe the size of an old pager.
Yeah, yeah.
And then wrapped around, they have reproduction of like a 1920s, 1930s flat, flapper beaded bracelets.
Little costume jewelry.
And the thing was sitting in dead nuts in the middle of the floor.
Yep.
Now, it wasn't there earlier because we had already walked through that room when we did our walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Is
now
there a lot of vibration coming through the ceiling from Dave squirreling around up there?
No.
it's a possibility, but he was basically getting ready to come down the ladder. He was over the mud room, and this is up and by the front door, which would have been the living room. So he was walking around on the complete opposite side. Once again, that may very well be what it is, but the fact that kind of, including my drill bag, you had three things that seemed to be moving on their own in an old ass building in downtown Fort Myers.
And that, hold on, Gordon, real quick. And that jewelry pillow that fell off there was not just, it didn't like just fall off and then hit the ground. You'd think if something was sitting there and it was not properly set and it just fell off, it'd just go straight down and hit the ground.
Yeah, it was
out.
It was a far distance from, once again, the shelf that it was had been sitting on.
It was away from the fireplace a good 4 feet. And it's like something again had enough force to kind of like flick it to get it out, off the fireplace and into the middle of the floor, man. It was weird.
Once again, I'm not a supernatural guy, but it was just weird. I mean, we both had this weird feeling. It's like, let's get this done.
Let's get the job done. Let's get out of here,
So check it out. We grew up in a house. Don may not remember much of it.
No, I was actually telling Dave. I said the farmhouse I grew up in, I always thought it was from the 30s and 40s, but walking around this place, it had the exact same hardwood floor, had the exact same door hinges, the exact same doorknobs, had the exact same smells. And I was telling him, and now I realize that the house I grew up in was built in around 1901, because literally the entire, and it also reminded me of the cabin we used to live in down on the river.
Well, let me tell you a story. So our family can be a little they like the supernatural.
Okay.
There's always rumors of that house being haunted.
Right.
I'm 4 years older than Don, so I remember some things. And one day, just being me, I found some 409 my mom had laying around. I decided to paint an arrow that faced towards the encased fireplace. We had fireplaces there, but they were all encased in concrete. And my mom was talking to my grandmother about it. This arrow appeared, and maybe that's Janie's money buried, and so on and so forth. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say a thing. I sat on that for over 10 years. I think I was a young adult when I flew across the room.
Right.
Yeah, I think when my brother finally admitted to it, my mom had said, "You son of a bitch, we were talking about cutting holes in the wall looking for treasure."
Oh my God. So did you guys ever experience anything in that home besides just joking around?
Yes,
we have.
When you walk in the front door, you have the main living room.
Right.
And right on the wall going up is the old school steep stairwell that's about 3 feet wide.
Yeah.
And then a kitchen up there.
And then upstairs you had a room. And then a hallway, and then another bedroom. Well, in between another bedroom, you had another set of stairs.
Right.
And being in Kentucky, living on a farm growing up, it was quite common for us to be left unsupervised when our parents would go out, or my parents were divorced at this time, but my mom and her boyfriend would go out to the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did we survive?
Yeah, and I think Gordon's the oldest at like 8.
Oh, wow.
I was 5. My sister was like 6. No, I was 4. My sister was 7. But the three of us were up in one bedroom.
Yeah.
You want to tell them the rest? Do you want me to?
Hit me up.
If you tell them the rest, and people know we're not lying.
Yeah, hit me up, Gordon.
You have to remind me.
We hear footsteps coming up the stairs.
Ooh.
And you look down the stairs, nothing there.
Nothing
you go look
there.
at the other one, nothing there.
Right.
And then
That gives me the creeps, man.
when Gordon and I used to play out down in the chicken coops and that, once again, no one was home. And we never talked about this. Gordon actually asked me this when I was like 16 or 17. What did you ask me?
You're going to, again, have to remind me. That's a long time ago.
God damn, you
Come
suck.
on, Gordon. Joggle that brain.
You asked me if I ever heard a female voice saying our names.
Yes. Now I remember, yes.
All right.
There was no voice, but I would hear it. It was almost like a whisper, but a loud whisper.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be here confirming this stuff, Gordon.
Yeah.
And
that's weird.
my mom was dating this guy at this time. This guy was a real shitbag, right?
Yeah.
Won't get into that. But
No.
he came into my mom's bedroom like white as a ghost. My
Yeah.
mom's like, what's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
What happened?
He's like, there's an old lady in overalls and a shotgun in your
Get
kitchen.
the hell out of here.
Well, this guy wasn't.
Dude, that's not cool.
This wasn't the nicest guy in the world. He didn't treat my mother very well.
Right.
And my mom's like, what do you mean there's an old lady in the kitchen? And he basically described to a T my Aunt JD, who lived in that house, who died at the age of 99.
Whoa.
And
Whoa. That is wild, man.
Yeah.
That is
What
what.
about, remember when you went and stayed at that hotel that
Yes.
was on the far end of the proproperty?
Yes, and so
You had a
basically-
hotel on your property?
No, fast forward. My
Okay.
my grandmother sold the house because, as we said in past episodes,
Yeah.
my mom's side of the family after the Depression, they were liquid poor but property
Mm-hmm.
rich because my grandmother's father had invested. They were quite wealthy prior to the Great Depression, and so he had bought a lot of land around
Right.
northern Kentucky. And so how my grandmother basically, and rightfully so, survived through the 80s and 90s and early 2000s was by slowly liquidating off land
Right.
and taking the money. And this property was a pristine corner lot. If anybody's ever taken 75 to Columbus, Ohio, and once you get past Florence, Kentucky, you come to Richwood, and you get off the interstate, and right there in the corner, because Gordon and I have talked about in the past, as kids, we would stand at the back of our field, because we had 30 acres? Maybe 20?
It was actually 8.
8?
But, yeah.
It seemed a whole lot bigger than that, because we had 2 ponds on it, 3 barns, a chicken coop, and a big-ass house. But okay, we had 8 acres. And we would stand and the on-ramp of the interstate was right at the end of our property.
Yeah.
And so Gordon and I would sit on there, and we would fantasize about, hey, that's my
Right. Yeah. That's my.
semi-truck. And Gordon's like, no, you get that one.
You
He'd
get
point at
that.
the old
Yeah,
jalopy,
yeah.
and he gets a nice pristine one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow, my grandmother sold that property, and it was parceled out. They built a White Castle on it,
Oh wow.
2 pilot truck stops.
Damn.
Actually, a truck stop and a gas station.
Yeah.
And what would later become a defunct Holiday Inn Express.
Hollywood and yeah.
And so when I got married, back in 2000-ish, I had Kinnison, my dog that just died
Yeah,
at 19.
I remember.
Last Christmas, not this,
Yep.
but the 2017
One prior.
Christmas Eve.
Yep.
That dog does not like bathrooms because he associates bathrooms with baths.
Right.
And dogs don't like baths.
Yeah. A lot of them don't.
And so I was taking my wife at the time down there to meet my family and this, and that, and the other thing. And we decided, hey, it'd be kind of cool. Let's stay in the hotel on the property that you grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking in there, and Kinnison, as soon as we went to open the hotel room, Kinnison just dug his claws into the carpet. He did not want to go in there at all.
Felt bad vibes, huh?
All night long, he stood on the bed barking at the wall.
See.
Now, this dog, later on in life, drove from Ohio to California with me,
Right.
stayed in multiple motel rooms. He was a party dog.
Totally
he grew up in my band house.
Party dog. Yeah.
He did. He grew up in the
Yeah.
band house in North Harris on the west side of Columbus where we had 20, 30 people. So, noises didn't bother him.
Of course.
People talking didn't bother him. People drinking didn't bother him.
Yeah.
He just stood on the edge of the bed by my feet growling
He sensed it, man.
all night long. And so the next morning I went to take him outside to use the bathroom. And once again, he didn't want to go in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to go get ice, and I left him in the room. And when I left the room, he hauled ass into the bathroom, was trying to jump up in my wife's hands.
And
he
you don't
didn't-
like the bathroom.
And he don't like bathrooms
Yeah.
either. He did not want to be in that place.
Period. Just,
At all.
Just get me out of here.
And
now.
nowadays, that Holiday Inn Express is like some mom and pop, like
Bed and
Richwood.
breakfast or
No,
something.
it's just like some defunct low end, take your
Right.
hook or two, like
Oh.
shitty motel.
Weekly
now.
stay sort of thing, or
Yeah,
whatever
it's just,
the hell it is.
it's not a franchise
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
mom and pop, bought it,
Yeah, I
and
know.
they're in over their head. But yeah, it's just crazy, man.
That is wild, man. That is wild. Kinnison sensed it. You
Yeah.
know, he knew there was some bad juju going on, man. Didn't want no part of it. No part of it.
I had no intention of going down the ghost route, but
Yeah.
looking at Facebook, we have some people who are into that.
Okay.
Remember in the early 2000s, they'd have all those ghost shows where they're like walking through haunted houses.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
did you
yeah.
hear that? And the sound guy's putting in music.
Oh yeah.
Well, have you ever heard of the bar Mackey's Country Bar?
Bar Mackey's Country Bar. No, I have not. I cannot recall.
Well, if you go back and you watch some of these shows, they'll go down to a place called Mackey's Country Bar, and it's outside of Covington in northern Kentucky.
Okay.
I've never been there. But the story goes that when Mackey's bought it out, they were restoring the place and they uncovered a physical well in the basement. And according to them, back in the day, there was some killing. Somebody got killed.
Somebody got dumped down the well, and
well, Florence in northern Kentucky is a small area,
uh-huh.
and it just so happens my grandfather used to work for a couple of fellows who owned that building.
Oh wow! Okay.
And so my dad grew up in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Spent time there. Yeah.
He's like, nothing ever happened in there.
Right.
He's like,
right.
I was in there most of my youth. Nothing ever crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, people will well, that's because when Mackey's bought it, they're the one who uncovered the well and let the ghost
let the spirit out.
Yeah, my dad's like, no, I grew up in there. Nothing super crazy should happen in there because
partying, right?
My grandfather worked for some particular folk back then, but nothing supernatural happened in that place.
Right. I get that. Wow, dude, that's crazy, man. The supernatural. So just for the simple fact that me and you went through what we went through on Friday, man. You know, it got me thinking about it, and I'm just like,
whoa, wrong button.
Hey.
Is that how Friday went?
Yeah.
No, man,
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, no, we did. We kicked ass on Friday, bro. We got it done, man. We got it done. Looks good too. But it's just the supernatural, man. Sometimes it's when you're watching television, you're seeing those ghost shows like you're talking about. They just
well, the sound guy put so much ambient sound in there that even if they did pick up something, you wouldn't be able to determine if it was real or part of the shit.
Yeah,
that the sound guy
I know,
put in.
and it's strange. You know, they go to these asylums, these mental wards, and they go to all these different places. It's TV.
If you're wanting to see it, you're going to be more likely to make it up.
What's that now, Gordon? I'm sorry.
If somebody goes in who's really expecting or really into the supernatural,
right,
their minds are going to do some
they manifest.
Yeah, your mind's going to, it's going to manifest a vision or a sound or something. I'm telling you, it's not like, me and D-Train, when we went into that house on Friday, we're just thinking about the job, man, getting the job done, and then this stuff started happening, and it's like, wait a minute.
Get the heebie-jeebies?
I did. I was up in that attic all alone, man, so it smells all musty up there, man. It's 16 years old?
Well, built in 1901, so 16.
Yeah.
I sent the owner of the place a text. Said, anything crazy ever happened in that place?
Yeah, you did.
And she's like, what do you mean? And I didn't reply back, so she's like, what do you mean?
Oh, you never replied back to her?
Well, I was at another job, so then I replied back, and I basically gave her a brief synopsis of what happened. And she's like, you're freaking me out. And I said, I'm not even a supernatural person either.
No.
She's like, well, maybe you are now, but... I got to go back there tomorrow, so we'll see what she says.
Are you going to go back tomorrow?
Well, I got to go back.
Oh, yeah, you got to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, I got to put that adapter on. And
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the supernatural, man, it's just, I don't like thinking about that stuff. It gives me, I just don't like thinking about it. It just gives me the willies, man. And then after Friday, I'm just like, I need to.
This episode of the Waterman and D-Train Show is brought to you by our friends at Act Computers. Act Computers has been servicing all of Southwest Florida since 2004. They do fine things like installing security cameras in your haunted buildings, replacing broken screens on laptops, keyboards, adding your security system to your existing network, expanding your existing networks, installing migrating servers, building up networks, helping you figure out ways to print remotely, and just about anything else. And by the way, if you log into your server from home using Windows Remote Desktop, I greatly suggest you look into two-factor authentication. The easiest way to explain this method is kind of like if you ever go to your friend's house or to work or home and you log into Google Gmail for the first time, you'll get a little prompt on your cell phone asking, hey, is that you? And you hit yes and everything's fine. You hit no and they will block that IP. That is two-form factor authentication. Act Computers offers a service they will install on your server so that when you're logging in with Remote Desktop, your phone will pop up and say, hey, is that you logging in? You hit yes and you're in. You hit no and it denies the login. This is very important because I don't care how strict your password is, how crazy your username is. There are people, and I have seen it happen, and the reason Act Computers has looked into this is because they got a new client who was hacked by someone in Sweden.
Damn.
And it's very cheap. It's $5 a month. Secure your network, secure your server. And this also works on your home computer or your work computer. If you're logging into your work computer from home, it works on your work computer as well. And so you don't have to be a Southwest Florida resident to participate in this special. Just give us a call, 239-283-1120. Say, hey, I'm interested in your two-form factor authentication or any other issue. Once again, if you have internet, no matter where you live, At Computers can log into your computer, help fix any of the minor things, install your printers, virus scans, install programs that are crashing on you, what have you. Give them a call, 239-283-1120, or go to act-capecoral.com.
Very cool. I want to hit on something here real quick.
Go for it.
Now, you know, man, I'm a social guy. You know, I talk to my neighbors quite often.
Yeah, I think Gordon called you the neighboriest neighbor who's ever neighbored.
Yeah, dude. You know, I'm the guy that says, hey, what's up, neighbor? How you doing today? And, you know, I like to get to know who's living around me.
Asshole, major asshole.
That's what they probably think I am, man, but I don't care.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
On that street? On the street? How many assholes we got on that street anyhow? One. Anyways, so this guy that my neighbor Bob, you know, that I've told you about, that's got the chickens. Well, this guy is like totally into just, you know, having natural foods. So he's just recently brought back all of his bee boxes. Okay, and
that's fun in a residential neighborhood.
Oh, you don't even want to know. I'm going to tell you right now what happened today, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So I'm out in the backyard today, and I start hearing the, and it's getting louder, and I look by his house, and there is a ball of bees flying around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like a cartoon bee ball?
Yeah, like a cartoon, man.
The queen's on the move.
Yeah, there are thousands and thousands of bees in this giant circle, and they're just swarming
Pull
around.
your mic up some.
Yeah, sorry about that. And they're just swarming around. And I'm like, this is not cool. And I told my dad, I said, hey, don't go out back. I said, I don't want you to get stung. And so these bees decide to make They
made a conscious decision as a group?
Absolutely. Well, the one follows them all, man. But I guess the queen must have landed in my tree in the backyard.
Okay.
So you see them, they're just flying all around, man. And I'm going, they're loud too. You get that many together, it's loud, man. And I'm going, check this out. And I'm watching them. And I'm like, you know, it's starting to get smaller. The bee, you know, the circle of bees is getting a little bit smaller. And they're landing on my tree in the backyard, and they're building this ball. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they're just, I don't know what they do. What do they just land on each other?
They're protecting the queen.
Yeah, so they're like landing on each other, and there's drips, like raindrops of bees falling off this ball, just packs of them just hitting the ground. And then they take off flying, and they're flying around, and they fly back to the ball. But they've decided to move into the tree in my backyard. And I'm going, bro, I'm like, Bob, go get your bee suit, man. You got to get your bee suit, and you got to come over here.
Collect your bees, Bob.
Yeah, you got to come get your bees, Bob.
A residential neighborhood, for God's sake.
So, well, I'm sitting there, and as they're flying around, my neighbor's cutting his grass, and I'm thinking, should I go over and tell Mike that, you know, there's a bunch of bees out here swarming around, because he might not be paying attention, and if they gravitate to his yard, he might disturb them. Maybe they'll attack him. I don't know. So I said, I'll let Mike be. I'm not gonna let him know, you know, because I was watching him. But anyways, I'm just like, this guy Bob is crazy. He's got fresh honey, eggs. He's doing all this in a residential neighborhood, man. I don't know how legal this is in the city, man. I mean, what do you think?
It's probably not, but what I have learned, especially here in Cape Coral, code compliance doesn't get involved unless somebody gives them a call.
So, well, this guy's got bee boxes everywhere, man. I'm telling you, there's boatloads.
Why doesn't he put them in the big-ass open field where the bobcat lives instead of putting them in his backyard?
I don't know, because I think he's afraid somebody's going to go over there and mess with him or something. Maybe there's some kids that could get over there. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? That would be more dangerous than having him in his backyard. But still, I'm going, Bob, man. You know, you're collecting bees, and not only that, some of them have broke loose from his boxes. And they've moved into one of my trash cans, my garden waste can. So I've got a couple logs in that garden waste can, and there's a couple of cracks in the lid of the trash can. Now they're living in there, man, on the side of the house. And when you go to throw trash out, you don't want to go throw trash out in the daylight. You want to do it at night because the damn bees are right next to the the recycle and regular trash can. So when that lid, if you drop the lid, it disturbs them, and they want to come out. And I'm just like, this sucks, man. This really sucks because I'm gonna get stung, man. I can feel it. I'm gonna get bit. So I don't know. I'm just the guy's. He's a good guy, but geez, man, he's dangerous with his damn animals, man. Bees and chickens, and he's got a freaking rabid dog named Nitro. This dog is, oh God.
What kind of dog is it?
German Shepherd. Yeah, it's called Nitro. It's a German Shepherd, man. The thing's radical, bro. You can't walk up to the fence. It's like, and I'm like, what's wrong with your dog, man? He's like, well, and I get it because he said the dog was abused. And that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's really not cool, but he's the only one that can be friends with the dog. Anybody else walks over into the house or anything, the damn dog just loses it, bro. It wants to, like, eat your leg off, man. Psychotic, man. Anyways, you guys want to give us a call?
No, nobody wants to give us a call.
No, they don't?
No.
You want me to give out the number?
You can, but nobody
All
wants
right.
to call us. Nobody cares.
All right. Yeah, nobody cares, do they? It's Sunday night. They're just all chilling.
Yep.
Nursing hangovers from the weekend and everything else.
Trying to fix their water.
Yeah, they're trying to fix their water. Exactly. Well, if you guys do want to give us a call, word area code 772-207-4150. That is 772-207-4150. Oh, so what's happening in your neck of the woods, Gordon? Any wild stories?
Well, I guess instead of news and shit, I could at least do the and shit part of the show here.
Why, did we already cover part of your news story?
No, he just don't have any news and shit.
You don't have any news. He just got.
I
He's
was
just
time
had
for some
shit.
news and shit.
All right. Well,
so I went to our first Vegas Golden Knights game last week. We played the Predators. Correction. I keep saying that we played the Panthers. My bad. But one thing
Miami's
I noticed.
team.
So Don and I come from a major league town, but I don't think we never really experienced the major league feeling, right?
Right.
We went to a few Reds games and Bengals games, but those aren't exactly the most stellar teams, especially back in the 80s and 90s to watch.
Well, dude, that's Marge Schott on that Reds team.
All you can tell us. We lived through that.
Yeah, she was wild.
Being in Vegas for the last 12 years, it is a true transient town. We got people from everywhere. This is the most diverse city I've ever lived in.
Right.
And it's absolutely awesome because of it. But with everything that's going on in the world, our country is continuing to get divided. Mm-hmm. To come down and actually see everybody, all walks of life, come in for this team, our hockey team, it's great to see.
That's cool.
We could put aside our differences and still just root for one common cause. And it was nice to see. Again, transient town. Oh, major league sports aren't going to make it in Vegas because everybody's from everywhere.
Right.
And last year was huge for it, especially going to the Stanley Cup. And this year we're doing all right. I think we'll make it into the playoffs, but it's still nice to see that people are glomming onto the team.
That is cool.
A sense of community that we desperately needed out here.
Mm-hmm. How do you think the Raiders are going to do? I mean, I saw you posted.
They got some big shoes to fill.
That is some big shoes to fill.
We got a brand new team in here, and as you know, expansion teams are not supposed to do dick for a long time. And we go to the Stanley Cup Finals our first season. The Raiders have got to step up their game.
Yeah.
We do have some pretty tough sports fans here.
Yeah, you do. And with the gambling and everything, I'm still amazed that they've even brought professional teams into the Vegas area because of the gambling and stuff. I've always thought that would be a conflict of interest, I guess you could say.
Well, gambling's everywhere now, right?
Yeah,
You've got
that's true.
Casinos all over the country.
That is true.
That kind of eroded that argument.
Yeah. So how's the new stadium coming along?
Oh, it's coming
For the
along
Raiders.
good. I think I sent up a photo on Instagram this week. We'll see. We'll see how it's going, but it looks like it's going good.
But it's still amazing that they kind of put that there on the strip, and the parking, like you say, it's going to overflow into like the MGM Grand and certain other casinos for parking for that stadium, correct? I mean, they're not going to have enough.
MGM is going to benefit greatly because they all charge for parking now on the strip.
Wow.
They have for about 2 years.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. Yeah, then they'll pull up some financial gain out of that. That's for damn sure.
How do you guys feel about drones?
I like the imagery that you can get from a drone. I hate the annoying factor of a drone.
Well,
yeah.
As I stated at the beginning of the show, I was at a pool party all day.
Oh, don't tell me.
and it's in a residential neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all chilling, and it just so happened as everybody got in the pool, other than the kids, because the kids were there all day, but as the adults got into the pool, and the women got into the pool, we're all sitting there drinking, and we hear...
Not cool, man.
We look up.
But someone's YouTube page.
Somebody's watching.
Hovering 5 feet above the pool cage.
That is
It's
not
somebody's
cool.
fucking drone.
That ain't cool at all.
They should not be on your property.
No effing way,
Now, 3
man.
people in this house all had firearms, but none of us wanted to go to jail for discharging firearms in a residential neighborhood.
Actually, the FAA can come after you too for shooting down an aircraft. You gotta watch
Oh,
out
that's
for it.
true now.
What we
that
need
they're-
is a T-shirt cannon with a net.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the damn thing just hovered over the pool cage for
Watching
like 5 minutes,
Watching.
and we're all flicking it
Space
off.
rocket.
And it's just, no one, we didn't have a garden hose or anything, but it's like, and then it just zipped off, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's mad creepy, man.
That
you got
is-
like 4 women out here, you got
Yeah.
3 young girls,
Not cool, man. At all.
and you're just gonna fly your, and once again, it's not like you're traveling over a property, you're hovering.
Mm-hmm.
You were spying. You were watching. It's one thing if you're
Absolutely.
just if the thing just zips over your property because
Yeah.
it's flying around getting an aerial shot of the
Yeah, it's
neighborhood.
passing by.
When the thing's hovering above your pool
looking.
cage,
Yep,
it's
looking.
like, are you kidding me?
That isn't cool at all. Well, that's one of the things, paparazzi are using those things now, and they're flying in certain celebrities' homes, and they're able to go, before they'd have to sit and wait to get a photo
Yeah.
or climb up a tree
Now
and
they
shoot
just
up.
hover right outside
Now they
the
just
window.
hover right up outside and look in their pool, go all the way around their home. I mean, that is not cool,
It's
bro.
super creepy.
That is, yeah, absolutely creepy, man.
And so we got the look. It's like, well, I wonder what the range is. I wonder if we could find that. The range is 7 kilometers.
Okay.
Now, I just ran a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. So 5K is 5 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do the math, the range on this thing is like 5 to 6 miles. So it's not like you're going to be able to track the guy down and fight him and whoop his ass. But it's
No
like
doubt. I didn't know
it's
they
like-
were. I didn't know they could go that
some
far.
of them, I guess some of the higher end ones.
Really?
But it's like, really? You're going to sit there and hover your damn drone over somebody's pool?
What a douchebag.
That's
It's
creepy.
some weirdo man got himself a drone, bro.
I hope it's a little kid who doesn't know better.
even then that's still weird,
I
man.
mean, yeah, the whole thing's creepy, but, at least if it's just a little kid, hopefully there's no perversion going on with
That's what I'm saying. It's just that's a creep factor, man. At 10, bro. Having a drone and just checking out your neighbors and there's a pool party going on.
That's
Let me
the
zoom
new age
in.
peeping Tom. Back in the days, they would sit in their bedrooms with telescopes, and now they're using drones.
Yeah, right. Freaks. Bunch of freaks. Jeez.
Well, it can't all be used for good. Some of these assholes are gonna, do what they do.
Yeah. Now, I do like the ones that, they've got those machine guns attached to them. You seen those?
No.
Yeah, dude.
I did see a pretty cool picture of American Eagle grabbing one out of the sky. So
Oh, really?
Nature beats technology.
Well, that's badass. That's badass.
And this is one of those little white ones. I mean, that thing hauled ass. It was moving quick when it left.
Yeah. Well, I saw one that captured a picture of Bigfoot.
Oh, here we go.
I'm serious, dude.
That
I'm
is-
sorry.
The Bigfoot stuff is such bullshit.
I know, man, but it was
Discovery
funny.
Discovery Channel has a show called Finding Bigfoot.
Oh, do they? I've never seen it.
Now, for those of you who don't know anything about film production, the stuff is shot 6 months to a year ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, you have a show called Finding Bigfoot. And you sit around on bated breath each week for 30 minutes. Are they going to find a Bigfoot?
Right. They're gonna find a track or
I
hair.
can guarantee you this. If they ever find a Bigfoot, it'll come out 6 months before that episode does.
Oh yeah.
It will
Hell
hit
yeah.
the papers. You will know about it before that episode ever airs, because if they truly, in fact, do find a Bigfoot,
Yeah, I know, man.
it'll be all over the place before that show has ever made it through production and editing.
But it's funny what they're doing with them, though. I mean, the drone thing, as far as hunting down Bigfoot or what was it, Jersey Devil or something like that, man. And they're using them for something, for a little bit of entertainment. But
And
spying on you?
Discovery's known for these phony
Oh, hell yeah.
documentaries.
All the
Not
mermaid
documentaries
ones?
almost,
Hell yeah. There's one right now that just drives me up a wall, and there's that guy named Josh Gates. Have you know this guy? Okay, this guy is like a archaeologist, Indiana Jones wannabe. And every show, man, my dad watches this stuff, and I'm like, why are you watching this crap? But the guy's always hunting down and looking, at the Aztecs or the Inca Empire over in Egypt, and they're playing with a tomb, and he's like, oh, look at this, and baiting you up, just like the Bigfoot thing.
Yep.
And at the very end, what do they find? A freaking, a
coffee cup from...
Yeah, no, it's like a foot, a couple of toe bones or something. Like, oh, this is amazing. We found some toe bones. It's nothing. They just... I'm thinking, man, when are you going to find some treasure, bro? You're always looking. You never find nothing. How long can people watch this stuff?
If you're new to our show and you're watching via either Periscope, YouTube, Facebook Live, and the other one, and you want to hear the show in its entirety, but in more of a conducive fashion, such as driving in your car, running down the street, taking a shit, what have you, you can subscribe and download to our podcast via Apple Podcasts, which is iTunes. I don't know why they're going to be cool and called Apple Podcasts, but I'm anti-Apple anyhow, but that's neither here nor there. Anyhow, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for those of you who have any of those apps enabled on your Alexa, and you want to listen to us on Alexa, if you're a hillbilly with a bad speech impediment like I am, and you say, Alexa, play the Waterman and D-Train show on Stitcher, she'll probably air the Sons of World War II, like she does on mine, or something in Watermelon. So, I have discovered through frustration and cussing at my Alexa, if you say, Alexa, turn on Stitcher and play WNDS, because that's the file name.
Yeah.
Stands for Waterman and D-Train Show. She'll usually say, okay, playing WNDS episode 51 on Stitcher, and you can actually hear us via that. But if you have anything remotely close to a speech impediment like mine, she will not understand you when you say play the Waterman and D-Train show. She'll play the most obscure random crap, and then you'll cuss at her, and then you can go back and look at your app and look at your conversation with Alexa and see all the rude names you called her because she doesn't understand you.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So, should we get in some news, man?
He doesn't have any news. We covered and shit.
Oh, that's right. We covered and shit, but you don't have no news. Damn it, man.
Hey, it's news and shit. Right?
I know. You're right.
Have you guys ever woke up late in the middle of the night with a great invention idea?
Absolutely.
I said, ooh,
Absolutely.
it's $1 million idea.
Hell yeah.
I remember I moved into a house, and I have these cats, and the cats like to be in the lanai. But I didn't have any solid exterior doors. The only doors leading to the lanai that I had were glass sliding doors.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm thinking, how could I build myself a doggy door and a slider?
Through the sliding glass.
Well, clearly I don't want to cut the glass. So I got to thinking on it, and I said, I know. I'll go down to the hardware store. I'll buy some metal railing, kind of like you use for the lanai.
Yep.
Build a frame.
I've seen these.
Put some board on it. Cut a door, and then what I will do is I will buy a door handle kit for a slider, and I'll put the male end on one side,
Right.
the female end, and basically set it in there so that the slider locks into one side, and the other side locks into the nub on the door jamb. But then I do what I always do when I ever come up with a great invention before I spend any money. I Google it. And if you're anything like me, you know, no matter what your invention is, how great it is,
It's
somebody's
jumped on it.
It's already there. It's already out there. Somebody had already invented a snap-in doggy door for your sliding glass door with the male nub on one end and the female on the other, so it locks and secures your home. And it's just like, this is why I'm poor.
Well,
All the great get-rich ideas that I have, somebody else already has.
Well, I got two, man.
Have you Googled them?
Yes, I have, and they've been done, man.
Okay, what are they?
But when are
they?
The ones I have are really cool. All right, man. So check this out. This has to do. I'd have to market with sports teams, NASCAR, whatever it was. But I had two ideas. One was when you're cooking steaks on your grill, bro. Right? You've got like now I've branded a buddy of mine 25, 30 years ago.
You branded him?
Yeah, I branded him.
You got like the coat hanger out, and you made like a Dave the Waterman.
No. We had a peace. No, we had a peace symbol, man. And bro was this guy was crazy, man. His last
Peace through pain, bro.
Yeah, seriously, bro. His last name was Wiggins. And he was like a real hippie dude, and he wanted this peace symbol branded on him, man. And I remember that's the first brand I ever gave somebody. And
wait a minute, hold on, time out, stop.
What?
to make the statement, the first brand I ever gave to somebody would imply
I've done it twice.
you've given brands to other people.
Yeah, I did it twice, dude. So, anyways,
Homemade tattoos with India ink,
yeah, dude,
radio,
I'm into
tape
that.
deck, motors, and guitar strings wasn't good enough for you.
No,
That's Bush League.
that was Bush League,
You had to
bro.
move on past that.
We
to
went straight to
branding.
branding, bro. I'm not joking you, man. It was so gnarly.
Okay.
But anyways, point being, so I was thinking about steaks, and my idea happened 30 years ago, and I was thinking about steaks on the grill and taking a logo, let's say, of the NASCAR or your favorite football team. Let's say, Gordon, the Raiders or Green Bay Packers, New York Giants, Miami Dolphins. Take that logo on a brand, heat it in your grill as you're cooking your steak, and you could brand your steaks with it.
Or if you're in a nice restaurant like Ford's Garage, you can put a Ford logo on your hamburger bun.
There you go. See what I'm saying? Something like that, you know? But I thought you could do that to the meat, but apparently that was... I
That's
never...
been out for a long time.
Well, I know, but I never followed up
That's
on it.
probably older than us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I never followed up on it. Well, you know, I looked at it back then. I didn't have Google to Google it or anything. But my other idea is I said, and this has to do with partying. I said, man, people love the party, man. They tailgate, they go out, they have a good time. I said, they're always using extension cords, man. I said, why not have an extension cord with your favorite team on it?
Okay.
Come on, dude. Think about it.
One, dude.
Like the wire could be the one color and then the end could be the other color.
No, man, they're on the cord,
Yeah.
man. You got the little prints of the logo, man. Or let's say you got a Cincinnati Bengal logo all the way down the cord with the stripes and the way the
Yep.
helmets look. Come on, man. You got to admit that's kind of cool.
They'd run you off of Shark Tank for that.
Or a blue one for the Giants, or dolphin colors, man, with the dolphin on it. Come on, Gordon. Tell me that's kind of cool.
It's there, dude.
That's what I'm saying. See, the problem is I never jumped on stuff like that, and back then, I'm sure it's been done. Oh, well. What about you?
When I used to build ambulances, we would actually build our own wiring harnesses.
Right.
And we had these spools of wire, blank wire, but then we actually had a wire stamping machine. And you go in
Okay.
and you turn the knob and you could write words or phrases. Mm-hmm. And it would stamp it on the wire in white. I never got around to it, but I want to make a whole spool of fuck you wire.
That would be
I
sweet.
just want to stamp fuck you on all my speaker wires.
Hell yeah.
So when someone robs it and cuts the wire, and they go back and they're looking at it, and so far it says fuck you wire.
Freaking.
But what was your
I
invention,
hope you
Gordon?
die.
Yeah,
I hope
what-
your car gets run over by a truck. Yeah.
Gordon, what invention you ever thought about, man?
It wasn't. I don't know if it was one I thought about, but I'm sure it was out there. One of the things when you're running electrical and you've got a hang unistrut racks off of all thread, for the longest time you'd have to spin that nut up, right? Mm-hmm. You get them locked in. So what you do is you take another short piece of all thread, jam it in your drill, throw a nut or something, and then run a bunch of tape over it, and you would just run it right up next to that, on the side of that nut, and you can get it right up there real quick. But nowadays they just got a nut that splits in half.
So that was your invention?
That was it. People loved it.
But it's already out there, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, there's something different.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer, man. That was your $1 million get out of jail card, man.
And yet here we are, still broke.
Yeah, here we are, all broke as hell.
Growing up in Kentucky, it wasn't rare to see small children in the back of pickup trucks.
Oh,
But usually these small children in the back of pickup trucks on the farm, driving through pastures, or
Yeah.
driving down an old country road, or just
Yeah,
going
man.
down a few blocks on somewhat abandoned road. I'm not saying it was safe, but usually there was a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 2019. We live in Cape Coral.
what are you seeing, bro?
No shit. I was driving. Where was I? I think I was coming up Del Prado to Country Club, going the back way through, I think, Archer or whatever, and
Okay.
Shelby Parkway.
Yeah,
And it's not because the truck was full.
right.
There was only two people, and it was a full extended cab with the rear bench seat.
Oh,
I swear to God, the kid looked like he was 6 years old.
get
in the
out of
bed
here.
the truck, sitting on the wheel well with his arm over the bed, holding on.
Oof.
And they're just driving through the neighborhood, and then they pulled up onto Del Prado. It's like, what reason? It's one thing if your kid wants to ride and you drive it down your street at 10 mile an hour and you turn around and you go home and park. Driving down main thoroughfares
Yeah.
with a kid that looked maybe 7 at the oldest in the back of your truck, not even sitting down like in the middle, but sitting on the wheel well with his hand over the side, just chillaxing.
Yeah, that's...
It's like, what? I just.
That's not cool, man. Not cool at all. Because I could have sworn you had to be at least like 16 to ride in the back.
I know
of
in
a pickup.
Ohio you had to be 18 and you couldn't drive faster than 25 mile an hour.
Right.
That was the
right.
standard. I don't know what it is down here. I haven't read the book.
So damn dangerous, man.
But the kid's 6.
Yeah, no,
And it's
that's
not like the mom was back
ridiculous.
there holding him. There was no one else back there.
The kid was back there by himself.
By himself.
Mom and dad are like, hey, go on and jump
Or
in the
maybe
back.
just dad. I don't know if mom was in the truck.
Right. I don't want to ride in the,
Hey,
the back.
back in my day, I used to ride in the back of the truck. Let
All
me show
the
you what it's
time.
like. Hop
Yeah.
in, Junior.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
This is how you get around in our family. Oh, dude, that's so gnarly, man. Kids do that. I don't, or parents let their kids do that, and
yeah,
it still
when
happens.
they're 11 or 12.
You would think that wouldn't be happening as
when
much
they're old enough
nowadays,
to
but it does.
know the whole danger involved.
Bro, I see it all the time, man, and you see it going down, let's say 41, bro, and you'll see a lawn company truck.
Yes, with
and
18 to 30-year-old
I know, but what
day
I'm saying,
laborers in the
yeah,
back,
but still, just
sitting on a pile
a
of
pile
palm
of palm.
fronds,
That's what I'm saying, man.
almost falling out of the back of the basket truck. But this was a 6-year-old
I
kid.
know, but either way, even 6 or 36, bro, that's dangerous as hell to ride in
It
the
is
back.
crazy when you see them chilling on an 8-foot stack of palm
I'm telling,
fronds
I know.
in the back of a giant basket truck.
Yeah, you're looking at the back of that truck and it's full of debris, and then all of a sudden they're blending in, man, because they're just sitting in a
Or
pile.
you'll see the single cab truck, and then like on the outside behind the cab, there's like a 4-foot wide like aluminum hallway.
yeah.
You like see 5 of them chilling
Yeah.
back there. It's like what
Yeah.
the hell? It's like they take a hang a left hard turn, you're gonna go flying out of that chute.
People do that. That's against the law to ride in the back of a vehicle in Vegas, isn't it, Gordon?
Yeah, you don't see that really.
You don't see that
just
at all
it
out there,
right
do you?
Jammed into a cab.
Yeah, maybe out in the desert or something, but not in town, huh?
Oh no, definitely not in town. But you still see the sketchy trucks, the landscaping trucks with things kind of haphazardly stacked on the back, going down the freeway and just kind of wobbling all over the road. And you're thinking,
Like human cargo.
Yeah, bro. Hauling the human cargo. I don't know. I agree with you, though, bro. I don't care. 636, anyway, that is the most dangerous thing. And I used to roll around town riding in the back of people's pickups. I'm sure you did, too, D-Train and Gordon. I'm sure you guys did.
When I was 17,
But-
I was riding in the back of my cousin's Matt's truck, and he was hauling ass through the back roads of Kentucky with me and my cousin Johnny
no
sliding
way.
around in the back. I'm just
Yeah,
flying
right.
out of it. But once again, we were 17, 18.
Exactly.
We were strong enough to secure ourselves. We weren't sitting, and we were sitting in the bed of the truck.
And
We
you
weren't
thought-
sitting up on the wheel well.
No, and you thought you were indestructible. We all did at that
And you see
point.
people do the same thing with their dogs down here, too.
Now, that's another one.
And I've worked for enough veterinarians, man. Nothing pisses them off more than seeing dogs in the back of pickup trucks.
That is another one that I see all the time. All the damn time, people riding around with their dogs in the back of the pickup. I don't even like people riding with them in their laps in the front seat. I think that's a hazard, man.
I think Florida either just passed a law or they're working on passing a law to make it illegal to pet your dog while driving.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I know a few people that are going to get upset about that one.
Yep, you can't pet your dog while
Oh,
driving.
dude. On the left side of your headset, dude, you get a roach is right there. Right on your headset, dude. Bro.
Okay, shut up.
is the apocalypse there tonight?
No, I just saw it's like a bug.
Just a bug.
It's just a bug, not a roach. Sorry. I apologize, dude. Sorry about that. It was just a little bug. It looked like a road, man. It was like just a
It's
little fly.
freaking bug, man. But anyhow.
It looked like a fly, man. It caught my eyes. It made me trip out. Sorry about that. Scared me. That was wild. Sorry, dude. Anywho, man. Anywho.
Dave and I were talking about this the other day, and it was a little weird. We're going to wrap up the show here shortly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to cover this. Gordon, you remember when we lived in Ohio, how beverages were taxed, but food wasn't?
Correct. Sugar beverages were taxed and food was not because it was considered junk.
Who's clicking their damn pen?
Not me.
Oh, sorry about that. That's me.
Wow, microphone rookie. But anyhow, the reason food isn't taxed is because people need food to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so the government, as bad as they are, the two things they don't tax is 1, food, and 2, American flags. And down here in Florida, labor is not taxed. So if I come out and work at your shop on your computer,
Mm-hmm.
there's no tax on it.
That's right. We were talking about that.
But if I give you a 99-cent mouse pad and add it to there, then the whole invoice gets taxed. Down here, food is not taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Labor, not taxed.
Mm-hmm.
But food that is prepared for you through a fast food restaurant or through a grocery store who has a hot counter in the back,
Right.
that food becomes taxed. But if labor's not taxed and food's not taxed, why is prepared food taxed?
I don't
And
know.
shouldn't it only be on the food itself and not the labor? You have different tax columns.
I know, but why? If food's not taxed and
Yeah.
labor's not taxed, why is prepared food taxed?
Yeah, why is that taxed? And
I
not
could understand if you taxed labor, but you don't.
So the food that's already been prepared and in the
So
deli,
when you go to McDonald's, whatever,
yeah,
if you look, even if you don't buy a drink, you pay when you buy that 99-cent cheeseburger, it's gonna be like $1.07.
that's
Well,
true.
it sounds to me like it's a kind of a middle of the road solution. Hey, we don't want to raise sales tax, but we're going to create a new tax on prepared food. So it's kind of halfway in the middle.
Yeah, because we don't pay federal tax, right? We pay state tax, but not
No,
federal.
we pay
we pay federal, but not
state
state. We have no
tax.
state. Excuse me.
Tax.
Yeah, we have no state tax
Or city tax.
or city tax.
Yeah, like when I lived in Ohio, when I once again built ambulances, not to be a dead horse, when I was forced to work 55 hours a week, manual overtime, I had to pay taxes in Grove City. And for some reason, I think Columbus tax was involved. Then the state of Ohio tax was involved. And then the federal government's tax. And so you're getting
God,
it
man.
all three ways.
Yeah, California's the same way. You know that.
Well, yeah, a
It's-
lot of states are.
Yeah,
That's why everybody,
federal, state.
that's why everybody goes to Vegas,
local.
Texas, and Florida.
And that's what drives me nuts. I mean, on a political end, you got such a divide and all these socialists. Well, look at California. It doesn't work. You
Yeah.
know? Many examples.
Yeah,
Well, look at
it's a-
anywhere. I mean, look at Venezuela.
Oh my
If
God.
you need a better example of how socialism, and by the way, I just saw a story how now some of the local politicians who are getting caught up in the melee down there, and a lot of the people who were for it at the time, now they're all kicking themselves in the ass for their large sweeping gun control laws that took away everybody's guns over the last few years, because now they're basically a civil
They're
war
subjects, man.
with their government, and they have no way to protect themselves.
Dude. It's so crazy down there. Once again, you know, I visit with my neighbors. Well, my neighbor's, his wife's brother is down there in Venezuela. And I guess he's been going to Guyana to get out of there a little bit. Like, he'll go over to Guyana
Sure.
for a few days and then kick it back over to Venezuela. But he's on the coast of Venezuela, and he says it's not as bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? How can it not be as bad? But then he calls up here and is like, oh, I need money, I need this, I need that. But he was the one I was telling you about. I think I might even mentioned it on the show, that he went to a grocery store to try to find food, and they came and drained his oil and took all of his gas.
No, you didn't tell me about that.
I didn't tell you about that?
No.
They came when
Who's
he
they? Just random people?
just random
Desperate people?
desperate people that are desperate for gas,
Yeah, I
oil.
mean, we see it on a
all that
smaller
stuff.
scale during any time there's a hurricane down here.
Oh, absolutely.
When power's out, you know, I
They
didn't see it too
scavenge.
much during Irma, but during Charlie, when I was driving through Port Charlotte, I would see
Yeah.
people walking out of the gas stations with loot and all that crap.
Yeah, man. But he's, you know, now this guy kind of trips me out a little bit because I guess he's in the gym business. You know, the gym business. You know, I
Jim
mean,
isn't lifting weights.
no,
or
no,
precious metals.
precious diamonds
Okay.
and rubies and stuff. He's in the, you know, in the gym business down there, and I don't know how well he's doing. Apparently, he's trying hard, but I know he's suffering pretty bad. You know, I can't believe the guy even went down there. That's just crazy. And
Yeah.
he knew what he was going into.
It's nuts.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's even making it, man. But he's hiding out in Guyana, and then kicking back over to Venezuela to do business, and back to Guyana, I guess. Oh,
Well, within the last 110 minutes, if I said of anything of value, I hope you found something positive, something to take away to help improve your life or what you're trying to achieve. Life is short. Chase your dreams. Get things done. Find time for your work, but find time for your passion too, because one day you may wake up dead. Gordon?
Just be good to each other. That's all
Hey,
you
Bill
need.
and Ted. That's a straight up Bill and Ted. Be good to each other. I like that.
And I can be hit up at Aegis1974. That's my Instagram. That's about all I got.
All right, Gordon. Appreciate it, man. Thanks again to you guys, especially my buddy D-Train here, man, for putting this incredible show together. He works his ass off at it, man, and I really do appreciate it. Absolutely. And, you know, we're stoked to have you guys on board. Please tell somebody, tell a friend, and let's, you know, build this thing here. And you can reach me at Dave_the_Waterman on Instagram, and that's all I got. I'm out.
And I forgot to share real quick, if you want to get your very own Waterman 100 t-shirt or a Waterman and D-Train Show t-shirt, go to d-410.com. You can find our t-shirts there. There's an assload of What's the Scuttlebutt t-shirts. I need to design some more Waterman and D-Train Show shirts, but once again, I'm the only one doing all this shit. I don't want to waste time.
Dude!
So get your very own Waterman 100 shirts, because they're subpar when premium's not in the budget. You want Waterman 100s. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next Sunday.